We're live. Hi, everybody.
Yes. Hello, everybody. I'm Dave Dahle with Keizer TV. We get the honor of interviewing Keizer City Councilor Marlene Parsons today during our social distancing era of 2020. And Marlene, you have been living from your home here for the foreseeable week. And as a member of Keizer and Oregon, what's that been like for you?
Well, it certainly is different. I mean, I've been in my house now for almost 2.5 weeks, I think. I work from home, and so I look out these windows, and I didn't know all these people lived in my neighborhood because everybody's out walking. The dogs are happy, the kids are happy, but everyone's practicing social distancing. We all wave from our porch, and it's a different world right now. I'd like to go out and speak with other adults, but this is it for now. So,
Why? What are some ways that you're finding of being connected to Kaiser, yet not being out in the streets?
well, it's hard because normally I can't even go to the grocery store without always, talking with several people when I'm at the grocery store, and I'm not even doing that right now. I'm available though on Facebook. I do a lot of interacting on Facebook, text messaging, emails. So I'm still available. It's just obviously the social distancing thing. Representative Post brought me something the other day, and I stayed in the house. He put it on my porch, rang the doorbell like the UPS man, and ran. And I thought that was quite cute. And so after he got back into his car, then I stepped on my porch and waved and thanked him. So that's the kind of thing we're doing right now. I mean, it's still an interaction. It's just a far away interaction.
Yeah. Well, as in our last council packet,
Uh-huh.
share with our Kaiser community some things that you as a counselor are wanting input on, that we are looking at deciding as a community, and how can we be best prepared and informed?
Well, last week our city manager, Chris Epley, as you know, put us in a state of emergency for us as the city, which really helps us, I think, to help enforce the governor's directives, and also puts us in line for some hopefully federal money that might come our way if we are to use money, to help around the city doing things. We're going to ratify that as a city council at our next city council meeting. I will be on the phone. And I'm not sure. I think they'll have 4 city councilors present, but they'll be far apart present. I'm
Yeah.
just not leaving my house. I actually just quarantined myself. I was in a hospital 2 weeks ago,
Wow.
and they had told me there was somebody here, and there's been several sick people, so go home and quarantine. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm
Yeah.
just being safe. And I thought, well, after 2 weeks, I'm fine. I haven't gotten it, but I still don't want to go out. It's like, I don't need to. If I can do everything that I need to do sitting right here, that's what I need to do. So I suggest everyone do that. That's at least over the age of 62 and has had any kind of health issue. So,
Yeah. Yeah. It's been interesting to watch our health experts on how this can be transferred through breathing, stays on surfaces for many days. So someone may not be sick, but we just may be a transporter and to a vulnerable person. So how are you getting your groceries? How are you getting prescriptions? What's the mode of operandi to get
right.
what you need?
So I'm a veteran, and my prescriptions get mailed to me from the VA, so I don't have to worry about that. Grocery shopping, I send my daughter, who lives with us, my youngest daughter, and she goes to the grocery store. I give her a list, and she goes to the grocery store for us. Um, so it's been difficult because if she doesn't get what I want, or she forgets something, because I forget to write it down, because I'm not normally a list person. I just go up
Yeah.
and down every aisle. So to write a
Yeah.
list is like, oh my gosh, what's on this aisle? What did I forget on this aisle? So, but it's working out. I mean, it's like I said, it's you have to really learn to adapt.
Yeah.
And I would rather do this though than either get sick or get someone else sick.
Yeah.
And I'm working for the state, and they have sent for the Department of Revenue, and about 90% of us are teleworking.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're still working. So
Yeah.
things are still happening. People are still getting refund checks. Everything is still, our program is still up and running. We work with the counties, and most of the counties are closed. However, they hold people back, just like the city of Keizer. We have a lot of our employees are getting to telework, but the major players are still in the building. They're just far apart from each other, and they keep it sanitized, and so it's working. Right now, it's working. We don't have the public come in. That's not the way we work as a city because we like the public, but this is the way we have to do it right now.
Yeah. Safety first.
Safety first.
And how about the supporting the restaurants in Keizer? Our Keizer Chamber started a Keizer Eats page, and
Keizer Hungry.
What have you been able to order any food from our favorite restaurants?
Oh yes. We've done. I think we've done. Los Dos Hermanos. We've done Nancy's. We've done Mommy and Maddie's. We've done Sherry's. Eating out more than really we should, but we are cooking actually more than we usually do. But we are trying to, as a family, to still support these businesses because right now they really need us, these small businesses. We surely don't want to see them go under. I hope that the stimulus package will be able to help them and keep them up and running, since we really don't know how much longer this is going to last. But 30 more days at least, probably.
Well, and I don't remember in 1918, I wasn't alive. And then the other viruses, swine flu, I don't really remember that. So this is really, I think a lot of us are becoming more intimately involved with something that is culturally changing our life.
Yeah, I in my lifetime, never have I experienced anything like this. I went through a gas shortage, went through a beef shortage growing up, all this stuff, and never where we couldn't leave our home.
Yeah.
So this is scary. I think really scary, and I think people really need to take it serious. I still see people not taking it serious, and that really concerns me because they could be bringing that to grandparents or parents or neighbors or somebody because they're not taking it seriously.
So what sources of information have you found to be the most credible with all the information coming at us? Where do you go to for your official updates?
Right. My official updates, I get through my phone. The City of Keizer page, we post the latest from the Oregon Health Authority, the CDC. And so that's kind of where I get my information from. Okay. I think that credible, obviously, because those are the people, that really know the information and the statistics and things. And so that's kind of where I get my information from.
And as far as in our latest council packet, some topics we have for Keizer's censuses, envelopes are showing up in people's mailboxes.
Yes.
Why is it important that the people of Keizer fill those out, or they can go online?
There's a code. Yes. So on the letter or postcard, there should be a code, and the code is specific to that resident, the address, not necessarily the person, the resident. I think the biggest thing that the census will do, counting all the people, is help us down the road with state and federal funding, knowing how many people really do live here, how many people we need to help, perhaps. The census doesn't care really who you are. They want to know how many you are. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't ask citizenship questions. It doesn't ask anything like that. And that's one of the things you get. So I think they have 3 mailings that they're doing. They did a postcard, they did a letter, and they're doing this. And then Counselor Smith, actually has way more information on this than I do. She's our lead right now. But I will say that if you get that in the mail, please follow the directions, go online. It doesn't even take 5 minutes. Easy peasy, fill it out, be done. If you don't fill it out, I believe someone's going to come knocking at your door. Now, even during this, I don't know because I haven't heard. But I'm assuming they still are planning on doing that starting probably not till May.
Yeah. And, here's an example of when you open up that envelope, there's a code right in that envelope. And it gives you instructions to either go online and enter that code. I think it's mycensus2020.com. and just fill it out. It's 9 questions, or you can fill out the paper questions, and there's a return envelope as well. So they're really making it quite easy. But for example, the resources that are allocated to Keizer on a federal level are decided about how many people fill out these census forms. Isn't that not correct? So if people fail to send it in or they're not paying attention, we could be missing out on resources.
Correct.
For this community, right?
Yes, and it is lots of different resources, because our schools are based on that.
Yeah.
You got, different projects I mean, everything is just affected. And so as a city, each city needs to push to get as many people counted as possible in their city.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's by address, by resident. How many people live here? Okay, 5, that's great. What are their ages? I mean, like I said, like you said, there's 9 questions, and you fill it out. And I believe if you don't have a computer, I think you can call. I didn't really read that far, but is that another option? Like I said, Councillor Smith has kind of took the lead on this. So.
Yeah, and we're going to be coming out with more information
Good.
with her, kind of the A to
Good.
Z. But we all are happy to see your face, Marlene. We missed
Well,
your last council meeting, and so you're kind of just covering council packets. We're going to also talk about our city charter coming up in the coming months.
We are. And now with all this going on, I think that Councillor Smith, again, who's in charge of that committee with Freeman, are trying to find a way to get the word out.
Yeah.
With our lawyer, Shannon Johnson at the city. And so I know that they're working diligently on trying to get out information to everyone on the charter, and they may have to start here on Facebook Live to do that. So make sure, they share all this information with everybody and get that out there. So
yeah, and it's a very important document for Keizer. It's our formatory makeup, but it's not uncommon for cities to, when the state changes their guidelines and rules, that affects our city. And
that's correct.
As our city came to formation in '83, we're almost 4 decades since that almost. So it's going to be time to modernize our charter in line with 2020 state law. So we'll be explaining that in really good detail, but it's nothing scary. I mean,
no, not at all. Not at all. And I think that that obviously the people need to be informed because they're going to be voting on this.
Yeah.
The charter has to be ratified by a vote of our residents of the city. So if you're a registered voter, vote. If you're not registered, get registered just so you can vote on this charter. This is such an important thing that needs to be done. Yeah. And a lot of hard work has gone into it. And there's still more work to be done.
Yeah. Well, that's an exciting thing for us to decide as a community. And this fall is going to be really interesting with a lot of elections. Both our presidencies decided, but they'll also have a Keizer specific vote in there. So
we
don't always have a vote for Keizer's charter. And so it's neat for this society, this 2020 Keizer citizens to be able to modernize our charter. So
right. And we have we'll have 3 councillor positions, and the mayor position will be running this year too. So it's going to be an exciting election year for the city of Keizer.
Yeah. Well, Marlene, you've been a long time volunteer for Keizer, and I just remember, I think you virtually moved to Keizer Rapids Park during the eclipse.
I did. We did. We took our trailer down there and we lived down there during the eclipse. Yes, we did for like 4 days.
Yeah,
for 4 days. That was amazing.
Yeah, and that beautiful park that we all love, and we had a interview with our city manager Chris Epley about that park and how we're using it right now as we speak, that our big toy is not accessible.
Right.
And our, beach volleyball area is available.
I'm kind of glad it's raining because that does keep people away. Yeah. And so they won't get so disappointed when they realize that those things are closed because we can't do, all our playgrounds are closed. The schools closed all their playgrounds. I mean, this is a very serious thing, and we need to take it serious. I know it's hard to keep children cooped up in the house. You don't want them playing video games, but the school district is going to rent Chromebooks. I don't know if you saw that. Chromebooks for free in the Salem-Keizer School District to help children do online learning while they're out during this time. And then there's going to be a lot of resources. The teachers are sending out list of resources to the parents on what a child can look up on their computer.
Yeah.
We found a couple of different things for my granddaughter, and she's having fun with it. And I think she's having fun because it's on the computer, but at the same time, she's learning. And, we just make her read an hour a day or something. So we really need to be creative, I think, in how our kids are learning right now. And, they can play in their own yard, but, you really don't want them interacting with all the neighbor kids. That's the point of social distancing. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of sad. And I know it's difficult, but I think that if we all did our part, we could get out of this thing sooner than later.
Yeah. And as Chris said, you can still walk through the park, keep your 6 feet of distance, but
sure,
if you use it as a pass-through or to get out in nature, it's still there as a resource. And I think that that's a healthy thing to kind of
because a lot of our state parks right now are closed.
Yeah.
And they're closing the federal parks. And so there's not a lot of those kind of places where you can go hiking or be out there. So you do have to utilize what you have, but at the same time, social distance yourself from that next person. You can say hi 6 feet away. How's your day? Like I said, if we just all did our part and just follow these rules, I think we could be done with this, sooner than later. I mean, that's my hope. That's my hope. But council business goes on. We still have work to do for the city. We're all still accessible. Yeah. We all have Facebook pages. We have, we have our phones. We have emails. So please don't hesitate to ask us questions or to give us a call or to give us a holler on Facebook.
And in closing here, Marlene, your term is ending. And,
it is.
And so for someone here in Keizer to step forward and be a council candidate, what advice or what would you recommend for someone running for council to represent Keizer and our neighborhoods and our people?
Right. I've been volunteering for the city, since 1997. I've been on the Parks Board. I've been on, numerous committees. And before I made the leap to become a city councilor, and I still had such a big learning curve to go through. But I think that if somebody wants to run and represent all the citizens of this city, come and talk to each of us counselors, visit a few of our council meetings, understand the process, understand what our role is as city councilors. We set policy and procedure, but this is my 8th year on city council, and I've decided not to run again. I know I put that out there here about a month or so ago, but kind of verbally about 6 months ago, but I will not be running again. I've decided to step back now. I think 24 years with the city is enough. And so my husband and I are going to travel more.
Nice.
Yeah. We're just retired. We're going to be retired and just travel more. And I can't do that and still be committed to the city. So,
but there's also a really great community of leadership of previous councilors, previous mayors.
There is.
And I'm sure when you first came on council, you were able to reach out to some of these other leaders. And I think once a Keizerite, always a Keizerite.
That's right.
Even if you took a phone call from Florida, I still think that you would give guidance and some wisdom to whomever stepped forward.
I do. And I think, and a lot of people are talking right now about running, and they have come to me, and I just said, just your due diligence here is learning how the process works. This isn't about changing the process necessarily, but how does the process work, and maybe what needs to be changed, or what do we need to do? I think the biggest important thing is you have to work together as a team. It takes a team to run the city. We're not individuals. We're a team. We're a city council. And if we weren't working together, I'm not sure we could get as much accomplished, because in my 8 years, we've done a lot.
Yeah.
My biggest mentor was Lori Christopher. Lori Christopher was the one actually that put me in 1997 on the Parks Board and in
I
that
love it.
saddle right there. It was
I
her.
love it.
This is all her fault. So, Lori, if you're listening, this is all your fault. But
Yeah.
I've had different mentors along the way. I had Mark
Yeah.
Collier, I had Joe Egley, I had Jim
Yeah.
Taylor, I had Jackie Moore. There was so many of them that I
Yeah.
could just go to and say, okay, what do we do here? What does
Yeah.
this mean? And so anyone that runs, know that you have, like you said, these leaders that will help you along the way.
Yeah. And so stepping forward as a counselor, you have a lot of great resources,
You
and
do.
some of those founding fathers and their children and who've been here will easily take a call, give you feedback, perspective we may not have had in 2020. So
Mhm.
that's what we want. We want to know our next counselors and our next generation of leaders, that it's Kaiser together. Pride, spirit, and volunteerism
That is it.
isn't a generational thing. So
No, it's not
so
it. And we've
exciting.
got some young people that are
Yeah,
stepping up and doing things for on our committees. And I'm
yeah,
I'm very happy to see that. Those are our future leaders right
yeah,
there. And our youth leaders that come on these committees too have been fantastic
yeah,
young kids who have learned a lot and taken that wisdom on to college. We
yeah.
hear from them a couple years later. So that's very nice.
No, it's great. Okay, well,
Okay.
we did have a viewer, Dakota Sanders said, good to see you safe and healthy, Marlene Parsons.
Oh,
So
thanks, Dakota.
it's nice that we can acknowledge each other here today. So anyway, we're going to be back having you here on the live stream on Keizer TV, Marlene,
Okay.
on a regular basis. And I'm just so glad that this is your first out in the world since we missed you at the
Out in the
License Council
world. That's
meeting. So
right. Hey,
glad to
everybody
see
out
you.
here in the
And you
world.
look great and you
Thank you.
sound great. And
Thank
I
you.
just think it's modus operandi in our social distancing. But just knowing someone's doing well is a big relief in this time where we aren't
Sure.
as visually connected. And so this is just a great way to share and know we all care about you very much. So all right. Well, thank you everyone here in Keizer for a new interactive online segment that you're going to be seeing interviews with all our counselors and stakeholders. I want to connect with our Representative Bill Post and our Senator Kim Thatcher. They are also going to be around the table of all this stimulus money that's coming to Oregon and the channels that it flows through our probably governor's office and
Mhm.
treasury department, then out to our counties and cities. And so we really want to be organized and get those in need taken care of right away.
And
We
please
know,
support our small businesses. Support these restaurants, guys. They're cooking. They're doing a great job. They're being safe. They're wearing gloves. Go out, order something. They bring it to your car. Some will deliver to your house, but go out and be supportive. I think we need to really right now be supportive. We don't want to lose these guys.
yeah, so important. We don't
So
want
important.
River Road to be empty. So
No,
get out there.
we want to show our support. We want to show our support. So
Yeah,
whether it's from Human Being to Starbucks to Los Dos to family to Chen's, we just need to support them. We need to order that food and take out and just come home and eat it as a family. You're still eating as a family. You just didn't have to prepare it. So
yeah.
I think that's real important right now.
And also, is your son-in-law's driving range open?
Yes, actually it is.
Okay.
Their mats are 6 feet apart from each other. They allow
Oh,
one
great.
person in the pro shop. Everything is bleached behind everybody. All the coins are bleached. The balls are bleached. Everything is safe and sanitary. And because they can do the social distancing, they can remain open.
Wow.
If they weren't able to do that, they would have had to have closed. Like golf courses, the members can go out on the golf course. They just don't go in the pro shop. If nobody's at the tee, they just start golfing.
Yeah.
So you see, you got to just practice social distancing, and because we're able to do that at the range, it has stayed open, so it's an outdoor activity, but we don't practice. People are very good about staying away from other people. They come, they hit their balls, they
Nice.
leave. So
Nice.
it's been very nice. It's an exercise. It's getting outdoors. It's doing something, and it's safe. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And also, when you have a choice for any service,
Mhm.
insurance, um, home repair,
Mhm.
landscaping. Think of Kaiser first right now more than ever, as that I think all industries are, everyone's taken a step back and is
Yep.
concerned for their future. So keep Kaiser in mind and first, not only in food, but any
Right.
service you may
Right. And I'm
need. Would
sure
you
that in a
agree?
month my hair is going to be out of control because I can't even go to my hairdresser. So I might have to wear a beanie the next time we talk, David.
There you go. Well, thank you so much, Marlene, for talking with us today. We'll be
You're
checking in
welcome.
again. And
Okay.
thanks for all you do for Kaiser. And
Awesome.
Kaiser, take care of yourself. From Marlene and I, have
Yep.
an
Go
excellent
Kaiser.
Saturday.
All right. Thanks, David. Bye bye.
Thank you.